One in the chat where you can see it here. Let's get to it. Oh, thumbs up as well.
Special. No, I'm not talking about William and Kate or Harry and Meghan. I'm talking about me. I am getting married this weekend, so we decided that we were going to make this a wedding special and introduce you guys to my fiance, future husband, George Farmer. So just to give everybody context, we got engaged after 2.5 weeks, maybe?
I think it was about that time, yeah.
Right,
that's right, yeah.
right, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, whirlwind romance, I believe.
I know.
Nothing romantic was said, you know, between that day and the day that we got engaged. Nothing romantic was said at all. You know, there was no overtures. We didn't go for dinner. Like nothing.
Scented flowers.
No, nothing. Yeah, nothing exactly. And so I was very clear about that because it was almost like getting to know oneself in some ways. It was kind of a very strange experience.
Okay, what do you think he meant by he was very clear about it? Like he told her he didn't want any romance in this? Do you think he told her that?
Isn't this is every woman's dream, right? This, zero romance, don't go on any dates or anything. Just talk about politics and then you propose on the phone. But yeah, I don't know either. I watched this part several times where he's like, I was very clear about that, no romance. And then he goes into, because she reminded me of myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got several theories on what he's talking about, but it is not clear.
Yeah, sorry, Playboy. We've all I call him Boys Club rather. Sorry, Boys Club. No one understands what you're clear about.
You know, it was like I saw myself in her, and in doing so, and that sounds sort of I fell in love with myself. No, I didn't fall in love with her. I fell in love with a woman who gave so much of myself back to me. You know, and I kind of I was very willing to let myself fade and give glory to her. You know, that's how I view our marriage in many ways. Like I'm very happy to take a secondary position to give glory.
So what he's saying is that he has yet to tell her to make him a sandwich. Is that what I'm to conclude out of this? He has yet to say, go make me a sandwich. Like he refuses to tell her that. You can't make this up.
Nothing had been said. Like there had been no romantic overtures at all at any of this point. It had all just been very kind of above board and talking about politics and engaging in kind of philosophical conversations.
Oh dear Lord.
And then at the end of December, we started. I called her a couple of times just to kind of chat, and again, you know, just had these long, like prolonged conversations, which were mainly about politics and trying to understand what she wanted to do in life. And at the end of December, I was actually flying to South Africa at the time for New Year's, and I called her and I just said, "Listen, I know this is completely crazy and we've just met, but how do you feel about getting married to me?" Just real quick.
This guy's the voice of all of us.
Yeah. The fact that the
normal guy is asking.
MilkBar, you're a married man, right? How long did it take for you to between date and propose to your wife? How long did that take? I'm just curious.
I mean, it was what was it? It was too long, to be honest. But,
you can't make. They got it done in 18 days, and he did it over Zoom call.
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually go out on a date. You talk about more than just politics. He was like, he was trying to, listen to her, trying to figure out what she wanted to do in life. So you figured that out in 18 days? Like, you can't make this up.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm not even trying to wish ill on their marriage. They have 4 kids. So I hope they do work it out, because George, you would have to pay a lot of child support, bro. But
I mean, look, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors. People say a lot of things about George. There are people who've made direct accusations. One prominent man in particular has made very vocal accusations.
Do you think he'll do an interview? Because I would love to interview that man.
He was asked. He was asked, and he's like, I don't know how much I can talk about this guy just like sexually like I've said it all. I'm not going to give an entire interview on just George
Oh,
Farmer.
okay. I understand. So you just, the fact that the host right here just cracked this laugh and put this finger up is everything, you all. I just want you all to see this freeze frame. This is everything. All right, let's continue.
I missed the bit where there was any sort of...
There was literally nothing romantic had been said up to this point.
Okay.
I mean, literally nothing.
So I missed nothing.
We hadn't gone on a date. We had not talked about marriage or the future or anything like that.
All right.
And
It's so boring.
And she said yes.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
She did.
That didn't happen.
Yeah,
You're making it up.
I love our story. I think it's an incredible story. I mean, like, how many people can say that?
I know not many people
can say that.
and most people are overthinking it. I know girls that are in these sort of tragedy of relationships, 10 plus years, break up galore 17,000 times. Then they finally, get the ring, and that's supposed to be a celebration. Great. If it's what you want. Mine just happened in a different way. And I knew it was big. I didn't.
Happened in 17 days.
Yeah, I question about like whether to put that one out or not. Just because
I'm glad you did.
Because I don't get too much into like the private life stuff, but so many people ask about like, where's her husband?
Exactly.
Why isn't he stepping in to stop this train wreck?
You would think.
But also the main one is like the title on there. Is that you just think like if Candace Owens, if that story was one of her enemies, what she would be saying about that person and their marriage. Like she goes after someone because their husband was in the army and that makes them suspicious.
Exactly.
This is a wedding.
This is the title here. I mean, she literally would be saying the exact same things like you said that she said at the very end. Oh, well, that's what you want. 17 days. What a whirlwind romance. Like everything would be flipped except the timeline. And it would just be targeted to, how dare you sit here and think you're going to have a viable marriage in 18 days? Oh, no. Like it would be just an attack mode.
Yeah. Full
on attack.
Well, I mean, she says, she over and over again insinuates that Emmanuel Macron is gay,
Oh, my God. Yep.
So that's where I'm kind of just like, all right, you got married after 2 weeks without a single date, and this guy, there have been people who've said that this guy has come onto him and their men, and, so it's like, I can't even imagine what you would be saying about yourself, let alone the fact that her father-in-law is in the House of Lords and that they come from crazy British, like, but yet,
money.
What is it like? Lila Rose, her husband was in the army, so that then means that that immediately makes her suspicious.
This coming from the same woman that insinuated the entire United States military being involved in the death of a civilian that we witnessed on national television. Like this is the same person who mocks the military by blaming them or accusing them of being involved in some conspiracy or cover up or anything related to a murder. Like the fact that she would go after someone because their spouse is in the military is disgusting. Candace, are you going to ever address the allegation brought forth against, George? Are you going to ever do that? Because that's a serious allegation to me. What you think, MilkBar? That's a serious allegation. One that Candace should be answering to, right? Some man is saying that your husband SA'd him. You might want to address that, Candace.
And it's a very prominent person who's made it as well.
Yeah. Did he work at Turning Point with him in UK?
I'm not sure if he worked.
Did they work together in Turning Point?
I'm not sure if he worked at Turning Point, but he's worked in some big like conservative organizations, and I mean you can look it up. It's not that hard to find who we're talking about and find the allegation that he just doubled down on even recently as well.
Yeah, he did. That's how I saw the post, and I was like,
he's been making this allegation for years now.
Yeah, it was Breitbart. Thank you so much.
It was Breitbart. Yeah, it was Breitbart.
Breitbart. Okay, so so you're talking about a serious allegation like that from one man against another man. Candace, can you or Boys Club give any response to this? Because this is something else, girl. You can't make this stuff. And then, you know, what? And then I meant to ask you this earlier. You know, the one of the videos that I watched, I think it was the Paramount Tactical, said that she was forced to resign from Turning Point in 2019. You know, do you think what was the reason why she was forced to resign?
Oh, Candace
Why
Owens
did she
was?
leave Turning Point? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that.
Huh. Does anybody know in the chat why she left Turning Point? Because I mean, you know, she treats it like it's her company or something. Like, what happened with that? I'm curious to know that. All right, we got the second video here. Candace Owens continues to just lie, and here's where she's, you know, going back and forth saying that she never said Turning Point USA was involved in killing of Charlie Kirk. Roll the tape. So let's start with December 9th.
Was big. I didn't have the players. I certainly didn't suspect Turning Point USA would be, as I believe, involved in a cover-up. And we can talk about what the motives are of that. They could be financial motives. If they're, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean they were involved in plotting to kill him. And I've never said that.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk was something akin to a regicide, right? The assassination of a king to install a new ruler who the king would have never approved of.
You know, it doesn't necessarily mean they were in.
Pause. Here's the part where Candace, the new ruler, is Erica Kirk.
Yeah, that's right.
Milk Bar, what do you think that Charlie Kirk would have had a living will where he wanted his company to go to his wife? I mean, wouldn't that be naturally, you know, just to assume that unless there's a reason why she just can't do it, wouldn't it be natural that the succession would go to his spouse?
Well, I mean, she even that was in the TPUSA, the Blake guy that was one of the things that he said that she had lied about that being Charlie Kirk's plan. And Candace Owens responded saying, "I never said that.
God,
that's a lie." And then, but it's like she very clearly was, you know, more than skeptical about him writing notebooks and, you know,
right.
She
say,
was
oh,
very,
you all believe it was a living will? Like, yeah, he
yeah,
could have had a
like,
living
He was
will.
meant to be like a boy genius. He hasn't, you know, he hasn't left this in a will. I mean, I think she just seemed very, very upset that she wasn't able to verify that this was Charlie Kirk's plans. She was very upset that it was in notebooks that she couldn't see and that she wasn't a part of. This whole thing is a massive like FOMO. That's entirely what Candace Owens is.
Yeah,
she just has FOMO that she's just on the outside circle because she's gone nuts, you know.
Yeah.
And so she's just upset that she's been kicked to the curb.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You know, Candace, you can tell us why you left Turning Point in the first place, because unless, you know, like it was said, you were forced to resign or, you know, on the brink of being terminated, then wouldn't you still be there at Turning Point USA? Like, wouldn't she still be there if it was her choice? That's how I'm, you know, thinking about this. Because why would she leave only to sit here and be this obsessive about it? You know, the moment something happens to Charlie Kirk, and now all of a sudden it's, well, I don't think Erica Kirk should have been put into the role right away. I think it should have been an interim and blah, blah, blah. And I was a Mason and I helped build it, even though she didn't. But why would you leave it then? Why leave the company? You know, what was the reason? So that's something she doesn't, once again, anything that could merely come back on her and be remotely embarrassing, you know, or taint her, she doesn't talk about it. But
yeah. Well, likewise, why can't you seemingly show any text from Charlie Kirk, you know, after 2018?
Thank you.
That are within 7 years old.
Right. Or any level of communication or any interaction since the last day she went on that tour, which was 2024. So if they had any interaction after that, okay, wouldn't that be a good 12 months leading up to the day he was shot? So any interaction, a call, a text, a photo, you and his kids having play dates, anything to show that you two had some sort of functional relationship or friendship between the last date of her tour up until September 10th. she's shown nothing. And she
Yeah.
wants people to believe that she's out here, fighting the good fight, while she's also sitting here saying things like this, knowing that it affects Erica Kirk. Because why make this dig at the king and the dethroning and all of that, knowing that the person sitting in the role is his wife? That's what bothers me.
I mean,
It's his
even
wife.
even I didn't include it in this short one, but she even goes on about how, it's the same as JFK. The only thing that's missing is like a grassy knoll. And she goes on to say that Lyndon Johnson was a part of it.
Yep.
But yeah, you saying that just reminded me that, I mean, it's been so dark what she's done since the assassination. But one of my favorite moments was when she was like, within 48 hours of Charlie Kirk's death, he informed TPUSA that he wanted me back in the fold.
Yes, the reunion.
And then the text came out, and it was really a threat from Charlie Kirk saying, like, you keep doing this, I'm going to bring Candace back.
This is the great reunion. Candace, why don't you tell us all about that?
Break glass. I'll bring Candace out if you do this.
If you keep bothering.
Yeah.
Candace, he's going to use you as a pit bull. He's going to sick you or something. That's not a good thing. Yo, okay, Bulldog. I'm going to go get the Bulldog. Y'all keep on messing with me. Can't make this up.
That later he was like, guys, of course I'm just joking. That's like
you can't. He said, yeah, y'all keep playing. I know who to go get. It's like, oh great, everyone to be mad. Just like now. It's like but then if that were to happen, she would have to say why she left in 2019. It's like, okay, why did she leave in the first place? First question most people would ask, why did she leave in the first place? Because if she would have stayed there, then who knows? Why did she leave is the question. If you have this great reunion to come back, Candace, why did you leave? You're gonna have to speak on that. That goes hand in hand, girl. At least I would know. I would make sure she would not be able to say that without having to answer that question. Why did you leave in the first place? Technically, you should still be there then, right? Got it. That's so simple to me. But all right, yeah, let's finish this up and then have a good giggle.
Nation of Charlie Kirk was something akin to a regicide, right? The assassination of a king to install a new ruler who the king would have never approved of. It doesn't necessarily mean they weren't involved in plotting to kill him. And I've never said that. The apparent plan was to assassinate Charlie Kirk, who had at long last faltered on the pro-Israel cause. Okay, his words, not mine. And then to stage a hostile takeover. And I've never said that.
When did he say that? Go back. When did he say that he faltered? When did he say he faltered?
In the group chat, remember? In that one cherry-picked group chat where
the text messages aren't even real.
Where it was a knee-jerk impulse in anger because the donor was pulling money. That was his final all-encompassing. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite things.
You can't make this up.
That group chat was very clearly him responding impulsively and emotionally from a donor pulling a lot of money, a Jewish donor. So he was saying, I'm going to pull my support of Israel, and bring Candace back. And that's what everyone said. The people who were in that group chat responded saying, this was not how he felt. He's always been open about how he felt about Israel. He was clearly just emotional about what was going on with donors. And that's how he lashed out. I love Candace fans. And that whole side of things have then taken this of like this is what did he say? He said like this is why Jewish donors get the stereotype, something like that. He said that in the group chat, and they put that over him like he's Einstein with like a quote over like a photo of Charlie Kirk in like black and white.
You can't make this up.
Like something that he said in a speech, and not in something that was just
Right? It's like
a group chat with people that would never was meant to get out, and has been contextualized by everyone there to say this is not how he felt about Israel. Of course,
clearly. I mean, the fact that he took the time to send a letter where he's giving the Israeli prime minister tips on their PR strategy and how to, speak up for themselves more, not rely on outside media to be their voice, but, to have their own voice from the inside. Why would he even take time to even do all of that? That letter was 7 pages long. Why would he take the time to even type it up if he wasn't still pro-Israel?